Side of Philadelphia. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a former first-rounder out of Florida State, E.J. Manuel.
And while things haven't gone exactly as planned for E.J. Manuel, he did have a big all-star week, which led him to first-round status. People see that size, that frame, that arm talent. All they want to see now is consistency.
Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. Not much room to run. Just gets it to the 35 after showcasing his tough running. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They go back to Riddick. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Here's Manuel. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 31 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And the offense on the field for the first time today, and they were high-powered a week ago.
And they're beginning to believe that they've established a groove. They expect those type of performances each and every week. Running it, throwing it, they're precise.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Now Wentz. And that is incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. That one good for 14 yards. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. Aguilar in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. They run with Pumphrey. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain an...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and, well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. On the ground, it's Riddick. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback, but in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't get outside of you.
Now Manuel. The left side completion to Jones. Touchdown, Detroit! Detroit. Marvin Jones hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Lions are in for 6.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. I always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Robbie Anderson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain. Second and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Looking to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
They'll set up a throw. And he's got some space here. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll run here with Pumphrey. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Again, it's Pumphrey. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with third down looming. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. They'll run it now with Pumphrey. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they try the right side here. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive lineman and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And now here's a carry heading left. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as he'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So they're operating in the red zone. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
And never mind, Larry. These 2 teams apparently anxious to get back at it. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. See if they stay on the ground for second down. They'll run again with Pumphrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That was good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Every now and then when we see a really good run, we really tend to focus on what other people did in order for that run to happen. What the offensive line did, what the receivers did to help. Sometimes the running back's pretty good too. And on that play, he picked up a lot of good yardage and made it happen with great effort.
On first down, Wentz. He's going to look deep for Perriman. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Rashawn Perriman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track slides? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. Touchdown, Detroit. Theo Riddick, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Eagles. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter. So we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half. Tied after the first 2 drives of the third quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get him started again occasionally.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. 23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now they'll run it on the toss. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Second down following the run. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
So while the offense has had a big day, no one on that side of the ball is excited about seeing a loss like that. Their goal, to make every play positive. And when you have a bad one like that, your next goal is to not let it spiral into more.
That is caught. It's Perriman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw, it's Wentz. Found his target, it's Anderson. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Eagles have moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Well, when defensive coordinators game plan to put pressure on a quarterback, they often want to use blindside rushes, and that's exactly what they did there. The cornerback gets to him and drops him.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And some room to work. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 3rd and 10. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Under pressure, and down he goes. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively they burn it here with 1:51 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And now here's a carry heading left. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. And they just took a timeout with 2 seconds to go. This one obviously decided. Not sure they needed to take it, but we'll take it with them. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. They'll try and run this. It's Pumphrey. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lead, yeah, a little extra on top. Well, partner, I know that you and I were raised that in this situation, just take a knee. You got the game pretty much salted away, but instead of that, they throw it. Another touchdown.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see this post-game handshake.
Maybe a conservative